morning, students. Today is the first lecture of SI and CI. Okay, so what is SI and CI? You can say simple interest and compound interest. Okay, and again, this topic also can be done by two approaches. First one is your ratio method approach, and second one is your percentage approach. I'm not teaching you ratio approach because that is very lengthy, and what I'm telling that two approaches are there. First one is ratio method and second one is percentage method. I'm not teaching you by ratio method. I'll be teaching only by percentage method, because if I teach ratio method, it is quite confusing and there are a lot of methods to do it. But in percentage method, once you understand the flow of a question, understand the flow, how things are getting increased, there is nothing in compound interest. Actually, in this one, compound interest is the only difficult one. Simple interest is nothing. It's just extension of your percentage concepts. Okay, in percentage concept, increment is there and you are putting just time quantity, and then you are getting simple interest. Okay, so you should know the basic difference between the simple interest and compound interest. For that, I'll tell you something. Suppose first I will talk about SI. Okay, and as well as with that I'll be talking about CI. SI means compound interest and simple interest. So some principal part is there, SI part is there, and amount part is there. Okay, amount part is there, and then again for this one also principal is there, CI is there, and amount is there. Now, what is the important thing to note down here is, I'm just assuming your principal for both the cases is 100 rupees and rate of interest is 10% per annum. Per annum means per year. Right? I would say first year 100 rupees will be the principal. What will be the SI? 10 rupees. What will be the amount? 110. This one is for first year. Now for the second year. For second year, the principal will be same as what is here. Like principal is already 100. Principal will not change. You do it for 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 60 years, 70 years, 120 years, whatever years you keep, principal will not change. Here also again you can say this is 10 and then it will become 120. Third year if you talk about, again principal will be 100 and this will be 10 and this will become 130. Can you say that it is kind of 100 is actually 30% increment and you are getting 130? And what was this? This was first year, second year, third year. And what is happening? 10% interest here, 10% here and 10% here, and you are getting 30% here. Means what? If you are having R percentage rate of interest for n years, what will be your overall rate of interest? You can say that is R into n percentage. 10% for 3 years, it will be 30%. Okay. So instead of solving year by year, we can directly look at the direct value of 10 into 3, that is 30%. Okay, I'll not teach you any formula in the CI and SI. If you think that you expect some formulas here, definitely I'm not going to tell you any formula, because if I teach you formula, believe me, there will be at least 20 to 25 formulas in CI and SI, and those formulas will be differing by each other by some little changes. And those little changes, if somehow your paper, your mood is not good that day, you'll miss those details and your question will be wrong. That is the reason I don't follow the formulas, and that's why I've started the series Formula Free Maths. Because once you are clear with the logic, then you don't have to depend on the formulas, and logic will never go wrong. Formulas might, because you may forget the formulas. Then also, just for comparing, I will tell you one formula that you already studied, that is SI value is actually P into R into T by 100. You remember or not? So if I say SI for 3 years, okay, SI for 3 years, what I can say, principal was 100 and this value was 10 and this value was 3 by 100. So what is your SI value? 30. 30, how you can get, see, this value is for P, this value is for R, and this value is for T. Can I say something like this? Just look, P, R and T, right? If I take principal is 100 and R and T value, I'm taking this 30 and then 1. This is the PR and T value I'm getting. Now what will be the SI value? Here also 30 will be there. Means for the principal 100, 30% rate of interest for 1 year, it will be 30 rupees, same SI. Or if I say that it is 300 principal, 10% rate of interest for 1 year, what will be this? Again it will be 30. But in this case you don't have to remember, only this case is, you need to remember, okay. So anyway, you don't have to remember anyway. You can say 10% here it is given n years, so R into n percentage, okay, or 10 into n percentage will be directly giving you the total percentage, and already you know the percentage concept. So if you have total percentage, initial value you can find the final, or you have total percentage, you have final value, you can find the initial, right? I've told you 3 structures, right? Those 3 structures you can use and find the values, okay. Now, so this is I think this is clear now. Okay. Now let's talk about same thing. You will be writing like this. Okay. 100 is there. CI will be what? 10, and then amount will be 110. Now the difference will come. Now difference will come. Now this 110 will become principal next year, and on that you will be getting a interest. 10% of this is 11. So what will be the total amount? 121. Again 121 will become principal for third year. How much will be the 10% of it? 12.1. So how much you will be getting here? 133.1. Now if you look properly, you can say between here to here 10% increment, between here to here 10% increment, and between here to here how much increment? 10%. So what you can say, actually it's a successive increment of 10%. So what is your compound interest? It's a successive increment with time component. If it is no time component, it will be successive increment, you will be dealing with it in percentages. But it has time component, means we'll be saying it's a compound interest. Suppose time component is not there in compound interest. In this successive increment, time component is not there. What will you do? They have simply told that one amount is becoming 10% and increasing, again 10% increasing, and again 10% increasing. What is the final amount? Time component, how they are asking interest, find the compound interest on that amount of money. If time component is not there, you cannot find that compound interest. Why? Because this 10%, it might be for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, and anyway, you are putting money in your bank, right? You are getting interest. If they tell you that we will provide you 10% per annum, you will be simply putting it. But if they say you that we will provide only 10%, they are not saying per annum. Now this 10% might be for 1 day, 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 60 years. If somebody is giving you something like 10% for 60 years, would you deposit your money there? No. Means time component is an inseparable part of compound interest. It is a successive increment with time component. That is the only thing you have to remember. Compound interest is a successive increment with time component in it. Right? Now, so you can say it's a successive increment. Okay. Now, one more thing you have to remember is, principal is increasing by 10%. Now look at the compound interest also. 10 is becoming 11. How much percent increment? 10%. 11 is becoming 12.1. How much increment? 10%. So it is. I'll tell you the case. It is happening something like this. When 100 is becoming 110 with 10% increment, and 110 is becoming 121, and 121 is becoming 133.1 with 10% increment. What you can say that what is your value for compound interest? You can say compound interest will be 10 here, and what is the compound interest here? 11. Now this 11 is what? 10 plus 1. Means now you can say one extra increase is happening, or you can say what? How much increment is happening? 10% increment in the CI also. And this is the important thing to note down. That not only principal, even interest also follows the same pattern. compound interest also per year also will be again increased by 10%. Okay, and then again from here you can say 11 to 12.1, again 10% increment will happen. Okay, now if you look back at the previous slide, you can say one more thing, that for the first year there is no difference in CI and SI. Can you say that? In first year there is no difference in SI and CI. You can say if I ask you CI and SI for 1 year, it's 0, right? Now I'm saying that it is first year. In the upcoming lectures I will be saying this thing as first cycle. Okay, in the upcoming lectures I will be saying this thing as first cycle, not first year. I'll tell you what is the difference between cycle and year. Okay, now check. Now, so from here to here, how much percentage increment is happening? 33.1%. So what you can say, 100 is becoming 133.1. So you can say percentage increment is 33.1%. This is cause of CI. What was SI? 100 will become 130. 100, 130. So how much increment is happening? 30%, right? Okay. So 30%. What is the difference? 3.1%. So CI minus SI for 3 years, it is 3.1%. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now let's see some questions so that you can understand the things properly. Okay, find the simple interest on a sum of rupees 8,000 at 10% per annum for 2 years. So 10% for 2 years means what? 20%. So 20% of 8,000 is 1,600. That's the answer. Do you need to put any formulas and get the answer? No. Check another one. Now, compound interest on 8,000, 10% per annum for 2 years. What you can say? 10% for 2 years is what? 21 totally. Successive increment, use the successive concept. 21% and 21% of what? 8,000. That is 1680. Answer. Is it difficult? This one. Simple interest on the sum of 6,000, 10% per annum for 3 years. 30% of 6,000, that is 1,800. Now compound interest again, 10% for 3 years. 10% for 3 years means what? 10%, 10% and 10%. Or you can say that is 33.1%. So 33.1% of what? 6,000. Can't you get the answer? So this will be how much? So what will be the answer? 331 into 6, so 6, 8, 9, 000, so 00. Yes. So 98600 divided by 100. So what will be your interest? 986 rupees. 1986 rupees. Sorry, 1986. Okay. So I think this is clear, right? Do you need to? There's some formula. I think, if correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. A is something like P 1 plus R by 100 raised to power n. Do you need to remember this formula? No. If you remember, forget it. Because not even a single question I'm going to use this formula. Okay. Now this one. Now understand one more thing. When I say, if you remember your successive increment concept, this was the case. When 100 is becoming, it is increased 10%, it was becoming 110. And same 1.110 you can write as 1.1 into 100. What was 1.1 here? Multiplying factor, right? How are you getting the multiplying factor? If you remember, I told initial value to final value, your multiplying factor will be final value by initial value. You can check here also. 110 divided by 100 is what? 1.1. That's how you are getting the multiplying factor, right? Now, if this change is same, this 10%, I'll give you another example also that you can understand. Suppose it is 300 given, right? 300, again 10% increment is happening. Now what it will become? 330. What is the multiplying factor here? 1.3. Yes or no? Whether this multiplying factor is getting changed? Sorry, 1.1. Sorry, 1.1. You can say this one is 1.1. What is the multiplying factor? 1.1. Now here principal, if you look properly, 100 to 300 it has become. 10% is same rate of interest is there. And multiplying factor is changed. Sorry, it is same. Principal is changed, but multiplying factor is same. And what is multiplying factor? It's the ratio of 330 divided by 300 or final value by initial value. Or can you say it's a ratio? Right? What I can say, what you can infer from this is, if your rate of percentage is not changing, then your multiplying factor also will not change. If multiplying factor does not change, means ratio will be same. Ratio of final value to the initial value also will be same. Now if you know the concept, can you apply the same concept in this question? You can pause the video and then attempt the question, and I will tell you how you will attempt actually. 3000 is becoming 3500 in 2 years. So you will be saying 500 increment in 2 years. So 1 year in increment will be 250. So what is the percentage rate of interest? You can say 250 divided by 3000 into 100. And then you will be getting some rate of interest. So it will be 25 by 3% per annum. Okay. 25 by 3 is 8.33%. Okay. Now 8.33% is the rate of interest. What they are saying, 5400 to 6300. When it will become, this is the rate of interest, and you have to find 5400 into 25 by 3% in how many years it will give. How much? 6300 minus 5400. How much? 900. And that's how you will be solving it, and then you will be getting the answer as 2 years only. Okay. But if you have common sense and you have basic understanding of percentages, you don't have to even solve this question. Look properly what I'm doing. What I'm saying you to observe, 3000 is becoming 3500. Can I say that 30 is becoming 35? Yes, ratio. Or you can say 6 is becoming 7. How much change is happening? How much change is happening? You can say plus 1 by 6. Right? Plus 1 by 6. Now check here, 5400, 6300, what it is this? 54 is becoming 63. Now this is 9, 9 7s are 9 6 are 6 is becoming 7. How much change is happening? Plus 1 by 6. Plus 1 by 6 here also. It is plus 1 by 6 is happening in 2 years. So here also it will happen in 2 years. Another case might be that it is not 1 by 6. It is something like plus 1 by 3. Plus 1 by 3 means what? It is double. If it is double change is happening means you will be needing double of time. Double of time means now you will be needing 4 years. Do you need to find the rate of interest here? No. So don't find unnecessary things which are not needed in the question. If they ask you find the rate of interest, okay, then find it. Otherwise it is not needed. Clear? Jaydev, koi doubt hai? No, right? Okay, we'll go to the next concept. The next concept is doubling the amount. Doubling the amount or tripling the amount. Okay, so doubling or tripling or something. Okay, of the amount. Now when I say that something like suppose 100 is becoming 200, how much percentage increase is happening? 100 percentage. You can say 100% increase is happening, right? So if I say that you have rate of interest is 10% per annum and you had principal as 100 rupees, when it will become 200? How much percentage you need? 100%. How much rate of interest you have? 10%. With which value you will multiply that you get 100%? 10. So how many years it will be? 10 years. No formulas. Okay, again I'm telling you, no formulas. You can say it will take 10 years. Right? Another case could be something like an amount is becoming 3 times. Right? So how much increment? 200%. Rate of interest is 5% per annum. So how many years it will take? Again I'm telling you, this is by simple interest. Okay, this is by simple interest, not compound interest. Okay. So how much time it will be taking? 5% per annum. 200% you need, means you need how many years? 40 years to get 200%. Suppose one is becoming 9 times, how much you need? 800%. Rate of interest is 80% per annum. Okay, it will not be that much. Then also I'm saying 80% per annum. So how many annums you need? 10. So you can say time will be 10 years. I hope this is clear, right? And for this they have one formula. Okay, that is T equal to n minus r, n minus 1 divided by r into 100. Forget it. Okay. Or don't remember it. I'm telling you. Why I'm telling you formulas? So that you don't tell that my faculty does not know the formula. I know the formulas, but deliberately I don't remember the formulas. It is confusing. Okay. Clear? Okay. Now let's see some questions. Okay. Simple interest on sum of money for 3 years, 10% per annum, 2,100 less than its principal. Find the sum and simple interest. Okay, I think this thing we can do. It is what they are saying. Something is here and then something is here. What is the difference given? 2,100. 2,100 difference is what? Interest. Interest will only will be the difference, right? And 3 years for 10% rate of interest will be what? 30%. 30% is 2,100. So 1% will be 70. So 100% will be 7,000. And what is this 100%? Principal. So principal is 7,000. And simple interest will be how much? Simple interest is 2,100. Okay. Now this one. A sum of money is put at 8% per annum under simple interest. In how many years the amount will be double of principal amount? So you can say 1 is becoming 2. So how much you need? 100%. Rate of interest is 8% per annum. So how many per annum you need to reach here? You can say that it will be 100% by 8%. 100 by 8. 100 by 8 means 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is what? 12.5 years. Clear? Clear, right? Previously also you were doing that also, that only, right? 100% was there. Rate of interest was 10% per annum. So 100 by 10, 10. Okay. Now, a sum of money is put at 12.5% per annum under simple interest. In how many years the amount will be triple? Amount is becoming triple. So 1 is becoming 3. How much percentage you need? 200%. 12.5% per annum is your rate of interest. So what you can say? 200% divided by 12.5%. What you can say? 12.5% value is 100 by 8. So it will become 16 years. One way. Another way you can say 12.5. How you can reach 12.5 to 200? You can say that 12.5 to 25 it is 2. And 25 to 200 it is 8. Multiply 8 and 2. What is that? 16 years. Clear? I hope this thing is clear to you. Okay. Now, a sum of money doubles itself in 5 years. Okay. 5 years. Find in how many years required to sum to become 5 times. So what is this? 1 is becoming 2 in 5 years. Right. So plus 100% increment is happening in how many years? 5 years. So 100% increase is happening in 5 years. Now what they are needing it 5 times means how much you need? 400%. Yes or no? For becoming 400%, how much you need? For 100% 5 years. So for 400%, 20 years. So what is the answer? Okay, so they forgot to tell you that this is under simple interest. Okay, clear? I have this thing is clear to you, right? Okay, check next. Now, a sum becomes 72% more in 8 years when invested under simple interest. Means something was here, something was here. How much increment is happening? 72% for 8 years. So for 1 year, what will be the simple interest? 9%, and that only will be the rate of interest, right? You should know the principal and amount will always, difference will always give you the interest. It might be simple interest. If it is under simple interest, it will be a compound interest when it is compounded. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. Before this, understand this part. Or okay, I'll tell you one thing. When this thing was there, suppose 100 was there, 10% was there, it was becoming 110, again 10% increment, okay, and it was becoming 121, and again 10% increment, it was becoming 133.1. What was the CI here? You can say that is 10, 11, and 12.1. Even this is also increased by 10%, and even this is also increased by 10%. So sometimes, you know how they can ask questions. They will ask you questions something like this. They will give you CI for second year is given as 2400, and CI for third year it is given as 2880. Okay. Find the principal, find the rate of interest. Now if you are following ratio method, this thing will become very difficult, right? Because I have seen people simply write first SI they will be writing, then on this SI some interest will be there, on this SI some interest here, and from this SI here interest and here interest. They will be adding CI here, adding CI here, then they will be taking a difference, and then they will be taking a percentage change, and then only they will be finding the rate of interest. That is why I am not telling you ratio method, because it is very lengthy and unnecessary, it is calculative. What you can say, what is the relation is coming between 100 and 110, the rate of interest. Same thing will come in. This is first year CI, this is second year CI, and this is third year CI. Even same thing is coming in CI also. Means CI also will be increased by the same rate of interest, and 1 year, second year CI and third year CI is given. Can't you find the percentage increase? How much percentage increase is happening? 480 divided by 2400. What is this? That is 20%. So what is your rate of interest? 20%. This is the answer. Clear? I hope you don't have any issue here. So rate of interest is 20%. What they are asking, principal. So what will be the principal? What will be the principal? You have got to know that 20% is rate of interest. CI for second year is 2400, and CI for second year is what? You are saying that actually it is given something like 20% means, suppose it is 100, so 20% means it will become 120, and again 20% means it will become 144. So how much is the CI here? 20. How much is the CI here? How much is the CI here? 24. How much is the CI here? 24. And again, if you are finding again here, what will be your CI? 20% of this is 28.8. Now this 24 is given as how much? 2880. Or you can say 20 is given as 2000. Sorry, I think I have. Okay. 24 is given as 2400. So what is one value? 100. What is this? 100 is 10,000. So what you can say, it is 10,000, right? Or you can directly say that 120% is 2400. Amount of the CI second year what? And then you can find the value, right? Clear? If it is clear, then I will move further. Okay. Now understand one thing. Okay, now I'll be copying this question. This is clear, right? Now, how will you find the answer for this question, which is given here? Generally, they will never ask you for 4 years, but then also for understanding only, I have taken this question. This is actually a CAT question. Okay, so let's see how many people are able to solve this question. Okay, you can pause the video and check how much time you are taking. If you are taking nearly 20 seconds, it's fine. If you are taking more than 20 seconds, not fine. Right? For me, it will take just 10 seconds, not more than that. How will you find actually? How will you find? 10% per annum for 4 years means it will be success. So this question says that you have to find CI on rupees 4,000 for 4 years at the rate of 10% per annum. Okay, so you can pause the video and then you can solve it and get the answer. So how will you be solving it? You will be saying that here 4,000 will be there. You will be getting amount here, amount here, amount here, amount here. You will be getting some final value here. You will be getting the difference and then you will be getting the answer, right? And wasting a lot of time. Do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do that. What you can do instead, that you can say 10% increment means here 400 will be there. Mean next CI also will be 10% more than that. 10% of this is 40 means next will be 440. Next will be 10% more than that means that will be 484. Next will be 10% more than that, so you can say that value will be 484 plus 48.4. Don't add it. Why? Because after decimal 0.4 is there. Check whether after decimal any option is there where you are having 0.4. Yes, this option is there. If this option is available, you don't have to add it. If suppose two options are there with 0.4, then you add it and get the answer. Clear. What is the actual way? You can say this is done and then you can say this is 520 and 532.4. So here you can say here your CI is this one. Now this is for first year CI, second year CI, third year and fourth year. You add everything, you will be getting as 1856.4. Clear? I hope this concept is clear to you. Right. Now check another one. The interest on summing B is being compounded every 3 months at 10% per annum. Okay, this is where I have to tell the concept. If you remember, in the first slide, I told you about this first year or first cycle. Okay, when they have given rate of interest as per annum and it is compounded annually, then you can say it is first year. But if they are saying that half yearly it is compounding, then it will become first cycle. Okay, I will tell you the difference. Okay, check. So before compounding, one more concept is there. Let me discuss that concept and then we can proceed further. So let's talk about rate of interest is 10% per annum, right? And then you know that your CI value was what? CI value for 3 years was 10 means 33.1%. What is your SI value? For 3 years it was 30%. So what is your CI minus SI for 3 years? You can say 3.1%. Now let's solve one question of CGL mains. It came in 2015. That was CI minus SI for 3 years. It is given as 186 rupees. Find the principal when rate of interest is 10%. You know that CI minus SI for 3 years is what? 3.1%. 3.1% is given as 186. This is 60. 1% value is 660, right? So 100% value will be 6,000. What happened? What you will do? You will remove 0. You will remove point. Put 0 here. 31 6 186. So 61 percentage value is 60. So 100 percentage value is 6,000. So principal is 6,000. Clear? So directly they can ask question. Suppose it is given for 4 years, right? So you should remember these standard values. Suppose it is given for 4 years. So when 100 is becoming 10% increment is happening, again 10% increment is happening, again 10% increment is happening, and again 10% increment is happening. So what is the value? We can say here it was becoming 110. Here it was becoming 121. Here it was becoming 133.1, and here it will become 146.41. So you can say for 1 year your rate of interest will be 10%. For 2 years your rate of interest will be 21%. For 3 years your rate of interest will be 33.1%. For 4 years your rate of interest will be 46.41%. Right? So if I ask you CI minus SI for 4 years, what you can say? CI for 4 years is 46.41 and SI for 4 years is 40%. So what you will be getting as 6.41%. Some standard values, if you remember, you don't have to follow the ratio method and waste a lot of time. Okay. Clear? Okay, let's see the compounding. Okay. Now when I'm saying compounding, understand the word compounding. What is compounding? Compounding is actually when you increase or reduce, and after that, suppose one quantity is there, that is A, and it is increased, suppose 10%, and now it is becoming B, and then you are adding A plus B. So from A to A plus B, the journey between A to A plus B is called compounding. Now you can say A is compounded. Okay. Again you are saying that A plus B is 10% increase and it is becoming C. So A plus B, and you are adding A plus B plus C. Again you can say it is compounded. Change is happening and you are adding with that change, that is compounding. Okay. You are compounding it. Or you can say you can multiply with the multiplying factor, that is also compounding. Right. So suppose this was 100, this will become 110. What is the multiplying factor? 1.1. So what you can say? You are actually multiplying original with compounding, or 1 point multiplying factor. So this is the compounding part. Okay. Now compounding, now this 10% increase is happening. This 10% increase could happen in 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 day, right? So if it is happening in 1 year, we call it annual compounding. When it is compounded in 1 year, the change is happening and added. If it is happening in 1 year, it is annual compounding. If it is happening in 6 months, it is called half yearly compounding. If it is happening in 3 months, every 3 months, then it is called quarterly compounding. Right? Or they will say you something like it is compounded every 2 months, every 3 months, or it is compounded every 2 years, 5 years. Okay, that they will tell you. So these are some special terms you should know. When they are saying half yearly compounding, you should know that they are talking about 6 months. When they are talking about annual compounding, they are talking about 1 year. When they are talking about quarterly, means they are talking about 3 months. Okay. Now, let's talk about, suppose rate of interest is 10%, right? And this is the case of, and time is 2 years, right? And it is compounded. Okay. So what you can say, and it is annually compounded. Okay. Annually compounded. So what I can say, suppose 100 is there, 10% increase will happen and it will become 110. Again 10% increase will happen and it will become 121. Or you can say it's a successive increment of 2 10%. Right? But same thing, if I say that R is 10% only, time is 1 year, and now it is not annual compounding, it is half yearly compounding. If it is half yearly compounding, now you get to know one thing. Suppose anything for 1 year. So whenever they say 10%, they always say 10% per annum. Okay. So whenever they give rate of interest, until it is given that it is per 6 months or per 5 months or something like that, you'll always take it as per annum for 1 year. So when for 1 year, I would say for 12 months, your rate of interest is 10%. So how much for 6 months? 5%. And how many 6 months will be there in a year? So in t equal to 1 year, actually you will have n equal to 2. Means now you will have 5% increment for first 6 months. Again you will have 5% increment for second 6 months. Or you can say in 1 year you have 2 successive increment of 5% each. This is the case of half yearly increment. Same thing if I say that it is happening quarterly. Okay, it is happening quarterly. What you can say? Rate of interest is 10%. And your time is 1 year. So what you can say, what will be your rate of, I'll take this one as 12%. Okay. The rate of interest is 12% and it is quarterly compounded. Quarterly compounded means every 3 months. Right. So you know for 12 months you have how much percentage rate? 12%. So 1 month 1%. So you can say for 3 months, how much percentage? 3% rate of interest. And 3% rate of interest means first 3 months 3% rate of interest. Again next 3 months 3% rate of interest. Again 3 months 3% rate of, again 3 months 3% rate of interest. Can you say that each and everything increment is actually compound interest? Or you can say 1 year you have broken into 4 parts, that is quarters. You have kept the rate of interest based on what you have calculated, what is given in the question, and then you are finding that what is this? Successive increment. That is why I was telling in percentage. This successive increment is too much important. Once you understood it, there will be nothing in compound interest. Clear? You don't have, if I tell you the formula, there's some formula is there. Let me see. That formula, if I'm correct, that formula for half yearly compounding is something like this. I'm not sure whether it is correct or not because I don't remember the formula. Something I can remember, that is, it was something around something like A equal to P 1 plus R by 2 by 100 raised to power 2n. Has anybody remembered this? So this was half yearly, means you have to remember for half yearly, you have to remember for quarterly, you have to remember for every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 1 month, 2 months, 5 months. Can you make formula for each and everything and remember? No. But this logic you can remember always. Okay, that's why I'm telling you, follow the logic. So again, one more example I'll give you. Suppose now this time your rate of interest is 20%. Okay, we are having 2 cases. First case is t equal to 2 years. T equal to 2 years. This is annual compounding and this is half yearly compounding. Right. So what you can say? This case it will happen. First year. Now t equal to 2 years and 20% per annum means. For 1 year, one year, how much it will be? 20%. Next 1 year, 20%. So overall, how much will be the compound interest? You can say 44%. Half yearly compounding means now you need half years, 6 months. So how many 6 months you will be needing? 1, 2, 3, 4. For 2 years means 4 half yearlies. Now 4 half yearlies are there. Then what you can say here? Now 20% is there for 12 months. For 6 months it will be 10%. So 10% here, 10% here, 10% here and 10% here. So how much successive increment? Continuously 4 successive increment, or what you can say, this is 46.41%. Clear? So one CGL question again, I would say difference between amount being compounded half yearly and yearly. Half yearly, okay, and yearly compounding. Difference is given as how much? 482 rupees at rate of interest 20% per annum. Find principal. what you can say, 20% and half yearly and yearly for how many years? Whether year is given? No. Year is not given. So how you can find when year is not given? Take this one as 20%. So this one take year as t equal to 2 years, right? And yeah, what you can say now, 2 years when half yearly it is compounded, the rate of interest is 46.41%, and when it is yearly compounded, it is 44%. So how much difference is there? You can say 2.41%, and that is given as how much? 482, or what you can say that 1% value will be 200. So 100% value will be 20,000. So what is the principal? 20,000. I hope it is clear. Right? Let's check another question. Okay. So this is, I think this is clear. Now we can see some questions and then we can proceed further for the next concepts. Right? Okay. The interest on sum of being compounded every 3 months at 10% per annum. 3 months, every 3 months means quarters, right? Find the effective rate of interest per annum for 3 months. Now they are talking about per annum, means they are talking about 1 year. How many quarters? 4 quarters. So 10% per annum is there. Now 10% will become what? 2.5%. So 2.5%, 2.5%, 2.5% and 2.5%. You can find the approximate, you can find the value at last and you can say the effective rate of interest of percentage. Clear? Clear? Yes or no? Okay. So effective rate of percentage, I will say actually for 6 months you can write. It will be little better. Okay. So for 6 months means you can say that it will become only 2.5 and not 2.5 and 2.5. What it will become? 5 by, it will become, why 5 it will become? Rate of interest is still same, na, means still it will be 2.5% only. So what? Yeah. See, rate of interest you have to find per annum for 6 months. Okay. Or you can say this per annum also you have to remove. You can say effective rate of interest for 6 months. So what you can say? 6 months means 3 months quarter is there, 10%. So divided by 4, you will be getting 2.5% per 3 months. For 6 months, 2.5 and 2.5. So what you will be getting as 5 and 0.625 means how much will be the answer? 0.625, right? So 5.625% will be the effective rate of interest. How I did it? Successive increment A and B. So what it was? A plus B and AB by 100. You remember or not? By that we can find the effective rate of interest. Gayatri, any doubt? What happened to Akshay today? You people have taken an oath, I think. You should not come daily. If you come daily to the class, you'll not be respected much in the class. Sometimes only you should go to the class, right? Now next time when Akshaya comes and she does not watch this video on YouTube, believe me, everything is gonna bounce. Everything will be bounced, okay? Now let's check another question. Okay. Now 16,000. Find the value that 16,000 will amount to in 2 years for 20% per annum, being compounded half yearly. Being compounded half yearly means this will become 10% for 6 months. Sorry, 10% for 6 months. Yes. So means in 2 years means 10%, 10%, 10% and 10%. Overall is how much? 46.41%. 46.41% is what? 46.41% of your principal. So if you solve this, you will be getting the answer. So what is the value here? 4641 into 16,000 will come as something around 7425.6. Correct? No. Next one is, okay, so the difference came. Okay, let's go back to our concepts.